Okay, this is lesson practice 3 in unit 4. Once we are done with these journal pages, you're going to be entering your answers in the Amplify Desmos app. So this is, again, journal pages 281 and 282. So if you want to write your notes out in your journal before you go to the app, you are welcome to do that as well. Question 1 says, the number of people in town has increased by 50% in the past decade. They're asking us to draw a diagram of the situation. So looking at our 50% here and our tape diagram, if we have 100%, that would be two 50%. Okay, that is what we have, and then an increase of another 50%. So this is the original, and then you want to make your additional 50% another equal size piece to those over here. So this shows your 100% plus your 50%. So from here to that amount. Okay, the next one, it says to write a story that matches the diagram. So if I look at the shaded regions, I have 4 of those. That means each section here is my 25%, because 100% split into 4 equal sections is 25%, and it looks like we have an additional 25%. So we're going to have a word problem that would have an increase of 25%. Obviously, you can come up with your own story, but we can have the number of pets in my family increased by 25%. As an example there for that. Okay, in question 3, they're asking us to draw a diagram that represents this situation. The amount of paper that the copy shop used this month decreased by 20% compared to what they used last month. So in this case, we're going to have a picture that's going to be a decrease. So if I have my tape diagram, and that represents 100%, now I'm going to have a 20% decrease. So now I'm only showing this amount, and this 20% is the decrease. So this is my new 100% right in here. So 100% would be all of it, and then the 20% would be what is being reduced. So obviously I have 80% of the original amount if it's a decrease. By comparison, if you're looking at story number 2, we have 100% plus 25%. So this would be 125% increase, or 125% of, for my 25% increase. Okay, looking at question number 4. A new video game costs $60 on the day it gets released. The price of a new game generally drops by about 12% within a few weeks. What will the price be of this new game a few weeks after the release? Show and explain your thinking. Okay, so basically, if the price was 100%, but it drops by 12%, okay, then I'm only 100% minus 12%. I'm looking at 88% of the price, of the original price. So if I wanted to know the new sale price, I would have 88%, 0.88 of the original amount, $60 to solve. So if I multiply that, I get S is equal to 52.8. And of course, that means that the new price is $52.80. Okay, question 5. We have Jada and Braylon both wrote an equation to represent an increase of 3%. Okay, so that would be 103% of an amount, where X represents the amount before the increase and Y represents the new amount. So Jada wrote Y equals 1X plus 0.03X, and Braylon wrote Y equals 1.03X. Whose equation is correct? If we're looking at our numbers here, 1x plus 0.03x, we could combine those to see if we can simplify this equation. Y equals 1 plus 0.03 of x, and then we actually added that, we are getting this value right here. So both are correct. Okay, so explaining our thinking, if we simplify Jada's equation, we get Braylon's equation. So because they're equivalent or equal to each other, we are getting the same answer. So they're both correct. Jada would just take the amount and then add the 3% of that amount, whereas Braylon would do it in one step and just do the amount times 1.03. Okay, on to question number 6. If X is the price before increases and Y is the price after an increase, which equations are correct? So we have a sneaker store that's raising its prices by 15%. So that's a 15% increase. That would be 115% of the original cost of the sneaker, because you're going to add the 100%, the price for it, plus the 15% increase. So then based on that, we have to look at our options here and see which ones would be 115% of the original cost. A would work because there's your 100% plus your 15%. B does not have an X on here. If you were to have one and the 15%, they both have to have the X on there. So that one is incorrect. C has X, which is the same thing as having a 1X in there. And so that's 100% plus 15%. So C is correct because those are equivalent. And E is also correct because it's saying to add the two numbers and then multiply by X. 15 plus X, no, we're not adding. When we have rates, we multiply. Okay, number 7. A pair of designer sneakers was $120 last year. What is the price this year? So in keeping with our sneakers here, our Y equals 1.15 of X, which we are going to replace with the 120. So Y equals 1.15 times 120. And if we work that out on our calculator, we get Y equals 138. So $138 would be the new price of the sneakers. Okay, two stores each advertise a discount on the same type of sweatshirt at both stores. The original price of the sweatshirt is $25. Store A has a discount price of the sweatshirt by 20%. So a discount of 20% would be obviously a subtraction. So we're going to take off 20%, which means we're paying 80% of it. So we would do 25 times 0.8, and our price would be $20. Okay, looking at store B, its price is being reduced by 15%. So 100% minus 15% means we are paying 85% of it. So we would do 25 times 0.85, and that works out to be $21.25. So these are our two costs from store A to store B. How much less is the discounted price of the sweatshirt at store A than the discounted price of the sweatshirt at store B? So we have to just look at their price difference. And our answer is $1.25, so C. Okay, we have some spiral review questions, so I would like to do those with you today. Let's take a look at question number 9. This is looking at our grids and determining percentage that each grid is shaded. So in order to do percents, we are looking at the part to whole out of this total. So looking at our first grid here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going down here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 25 total boxes, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them are shaded. We want to know that as a percentage, and remembering percent means out of 100. So 8/25 is what percent of 100? Using equivalent fractions, we can just multiply by 4, and 8 times 4 is 32. So this would be 32% is shaded. Over to example number 10, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we take those two halves, 8 out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 20, and we want to know that percentage. So 20 goes into 100 times 5. We're going to do 8 times 5 to get our equivalent fraction there, and 8 times 5 is 40. So this is 40% shaded, which makes sense because this one is a whole row less. Okay, take these notes and go ahead and complete your lesson 3 practice and amplify.